Born and raised in West Des Moines.
So pretty much your entire life you've been living in Iowa?
I was born and raised in West Des Moines.
It's going great so far.
That would be Iowa.
Okay. So what inspired you to film?
It all started in 2001-ish. I was 11 years old and I enjoyed watching TV shows like Rocket Power and home movies. Or home movie. I don't even remember anymore. And my dad was into filmmaking for commercials and such.
Oh, so you had a father that makes films, or what does he do?
Yes. He is a creative director. He does advertising and he directs commercials. And I helped him on the set of a lot of those commercials and such. And you could say it was just in my genes.
So how many films have you made, in a rough estimate?
Probably about 60 or more that are on YouTube, plus the 50 or so I made before I had the capability of making them digital. So in the 100.
So what kind of films do you make?
I make all sorts of films. Most of them are outrageously goofy, and some of them are trying to be scary but kind of turn out funny. And some of them are trying to be funny but they turn out scary. And some of them are just weird stuff I thought of, like the side effect of mixing NyQuil and DayQuil.
So what is your most well-known film, if you can think of one?
Well, I can tell you that my most popular film on YouTube is Leeches Suck, and that is a documentary about leeches. I think it's kind of a crappy film. I don't know why it has so many views. I wouldn't consider it my most popular at all. And then the Chameleon Boy music video was the first digital film I made that I was capable of editing. And it's a music video, so obviously it has a lot of views, but it's still not my most popular. My most personal favorite is probably Probed.
Probed?
Probed.
Who was in
That's not on YouTube.
No.
No one important was in it.
So, who's your favorite director?
Peter Hedges, because he is also a Valley High School alumni, and I want to follow in his footsteps. Some would say that I'm cloned off of him, but those some would only be you, because you're the only person that follows the plot line of my video game.
So, what kind of movies do you like to watch?
I enjoy comedies, psychological thrillers, serious, and films that are very films that have a lot of meaning behind them, even though some people would consider them boring. And films that after I watch them, I have to think about them for a very long time.
So, do you have a favorite out of all those?
My favorite movie is probably Children of Men. Oh, out of all of those, probably Meaningful Film.
Okay. So, you okay? So what programs do you use to edit these films?
Until I was about 16 or 17, I was unable to edit my films, so they were all just shot in sequence and one take. Then I started using Adobe Premiere Elements.
So what else do you do besides filming?
I play the drums. I make a webcomic called Hysteria Syndrome. And what else do I do?
Eat drum, Hysteria Syndrome.
Have a website.
He has a website. Pretty much it.
I don't do anything else.
So do you have anyone that assists you when filming? Like, I mean...
Absolutely not.
No?
I'll have actors and people who think that they're helping, but really they're just giving me shitty ideas. And their names are usually Matt James.
Mm-hmm. So what are you gonna do with filming when you're older? What kind of ideas are you gonna go with this?
What kind of ideas are you going to go with this? Is that your question?
No. What are you gonna do with filming when you're older? Just concentrate on that question.
Well, I'm going to make films.
But
after I attend a film college, and I am discovered by Steven Spielberg or Peter Hedges, I will move on to become the greatest filmmaker of all time, where I will die young after murdering you.
Okay. Zachary Hayes, it's been a pleasure interviewing you.
That's all your questions?
That's 15.
What are you going to write about?
I'm gonna write about you.
You're going to write about me?
Yes, it's for paper.
But you have all these scattered questions. You need transitions.
Right.
All you know are yes or no, yes or no. You don't have any follow-up questions? I mean, come on. After you're talking to me, you should be like, okay, you said this. Let's elaborate on that. And then you formulate new questions.
Oh God, this is...
15 questions should easily turn into 50. Which would turn this tape into an hour long.
Yes, that's the point. I'm trying to keep it short. But,
oh God, it's almost 7 minutes.
I think
It's past 7 minutes.
Let's see. Do you fund your own films?
I do fund my own films.
God, I don't know where else to put this.
Well, let me put it this way. I answered a question, and I said something. And you could write about that, but all you know is what I just said, so you should ask more about it. What was your very first movie you ever made?
What was your very first movie that you ever made?
On my 11th birthday, I got my very first video camera. It wasn't digital. And on the next day, I made my first film, and right away, I jumped into it. It was called The Woodsman. And recently there was actually a movie called The Woodsman Made, which upset me. But it's about a group of kids, 11-year-olds and younger, who go to a haunted house where a man turns children into wood to burn them. And then they run to the park. And people get to keep getting turned to wood. It was very clever.
So...
And then he disappears, and that was the end. It was kind of like the Blair Witch Project, because it was from the camera's point of view, except for not everyone died.
Oh, so do you like to act in your own films?
Well, I don't like being an actor, because I'm not very good at it. But I like people knowing I exist, and self-promotion. And I feel that if I'm not in my own films, the only people getting credit are the people who are, no matter how much I put my name up on them. So if I had professional actors, or actors who didn't suck, like Matt James, I would easily be able to not act in my own films. But we need more actors, so I'd have to be in them, and that doesn't bother me that much, but usually I don't give myself a main character role unless I feel it fits, which it usually does.
So did you ever make any clubs or any...
I was the president of the Future Filmmakers of the Future. That's a good question. Finally, a good question. Future Filmmakers of the Future in Valley High School. I was also the founder. And it was the in the top 4 most popular clubs. And we're over 10 minutes.